Hey all, we're back on the Beatus because it developed a new and interesting problem that we're about to fix. So the issue with it right now is when you turn it on, the main part of the dashboard there doesn't light up. So you don't have a speedo, you don't have an odometer, you don't have a gas gauge, a couple of other things, and it also causes various issues with other systems in the car not working properly because everything routes through that.
Also, it eats your key.
Yeah, also sometimes it won't let the key out. So we're going to be replacing that, which unfortunately requires taking this entire dashboard apart. We're going to be using a YouTube guide, so don't take us as a reference for how to do this. I'll put a link in the description to the guide that we're using. But what we have to do basically is replace this unit. I'll put what it's called because it's fell out of my head right now. But what happens with it is that this capacitor right here, this 220 capacitor, which it won't focus on, goes bad. And it'll work erratically, which means sometimes you'll have a dash, sometimes you won't, until it finally fails completely, and then you won't have any dash at all. So this is a unit out of a junker. We've already replaced that capacitor on it. We don't know if it was bad or not, but easier to just do it this way. We put a new capacitor in it. So we're going to put this into the car to make it work. And then if the mileage on this is pretty close to what the car already had, we're just going to leave it in. If this has significantly more or less miles, we're going to replace the capacitor on the original one, tear it all apart, put that one back in again. But right now our biggest priority is just getting it consistently working right now. Alright, so we finally have the thing out. This is the old one, which, I mean, that's the bad capacitor, but they don't, unless you really blow a cap, they don't show it. So that's the one that is bad on this. We're going to be putting the other board in that's already had that replaced, and then reversing everything we just did and hoping to hell it works. My partner just pointed this out to me and I had forgotten entirely. This capacitor, which is the old one, and it won't focus on it. Anyway, this one, which is the old one, is 100 capacitor. The replacement one that we put in is a 220, and that's the legit Toyota fix for this, because this one basically, as it ages, becomes too low a capacity for what it needs to do, and that's why everything starts failing. So the fix is to replace this with a 220 so that it's already more capacity, but also even as that one ages, it stays above the minimum capacity that it needs to be. So that's why this one's 100, but what we put in is a 220. Alright, it's starting to get dark, but we've kind of gutted out the entire upper half of the dashboard here. This isn't necessary to do the job, but in the continued attempts to get rid of the worst of the cigarette smell, we pulled all the upper vents out, and those have all been scrubbed in the tub along with the dashboard vents. This piece isn't going to come out without a fight, so I've gone and scrubbed down in it with first the vacuum and then with a wet microfiber, so hopefully that'll help. It's never going to be perfect because you can see the foam over there, that each of the vent doors has on it is also kind of gross. But it's going to be significantly better. We've gotten a bunch of loose ash out of here. We've wiped everything down. The inside of the vents are now all clean, so they're not going to be blowing more garbage into the car, so it can only help. So the next step is reassembly. I'm not going to film that because you can see it's getting dark, so it's not going to show. We did crack this, the AC vent that goes here. We cracked because you need to pull them straight out. If you tip them like this, they hit the other part of the dashboard, and that's what cracked that one. And then the AC vent that goes here got dropped. Like, not intentionally, but like when my partner was cleaning it, it slipped out of her hand, and this one got significantly damaged. So for now, we're just going to put it together the best we can. I'm going to go to the junkyard, pick up those two vents. They're not vital to the car operating, fortunately. And then hopefully we'll be able to get all this back together and get the car rolling again, hopefully with a working dashboard. All right, and it's later. It's actually a couple days later, but whatever. So parts in, and it works perfectly. Dash now boots up properly. Any flickering you're seeing is an artifact of the camera. Like, it's not actually doing that. But yeah, this all lights up the way it's supposed to now. Everything that therefore needs that to work also works properly now. Climate control needs to stop. So it's all taken care of. The odometer is like 2,000 miles lower than the old one is, so it's close enough. We're not going to worry about it. We're not going to bother to put the other one back in. But that means that's all set. This is the dash piece that got dropped and broken, so I need to get a replacement for that. And this is the dash piece that we cracked by lifting up on it rather than pulling it straight out. And then I can't really show it to you, but the back of this piece has some damage. It looks like somebody may have tried to pry at that with something at some point. But so those three pieces of the dash I'm going to keep an eye out at the junkyard for. But this project is all done. It's all fixed. And now that that capacitor has been replaced, this should keep working for the life of the car. So that's it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.